Hello, everybody. This is Don Mastrangelo with GPS Heroes, and I'm excited to share with you the launch of our GPS Heroes Distributor program. I'm spend a few minutes with you here today just to give you a general overview of what we're doing. I'm not going to be able to answer all of your questions. I want to keep this presentation short. What you're going to see here is the same presentation that we're using on the road as we're traveling around, talking to people in different cities and getting the ball rolling on the program. But I can tell you that this is a long time coming. We're extremely prepared for this program. I'll share a little of the history with you, and people are joining us left and right, and this is a very, very exciting time at GPS Heroes. So I'm going to try and take 15 to 20 minutes at the most to run through some information. It should cover most of the questions that come up pretty frequently from people who are just looking at the program. And once we're done, please just get in touch with us. Whoever invited you to watch the webinar, your sponsor, myself, anybody on my team, to get your questions answered. And again, thanks for taking the time to take a look at the program. And our mission at GPS Heroes is to protect 1 million of what matters most. It's a very ambitious mission. We're very serious about this mission. This is a long time coming. We've been in this business for 15 years now, and we've just barely begun to scratch the surface of what's available. Most importantly, the reason we're doing this program today is because there's a tremendous need, not just in the fleet space that we're so prevalent in, but also with families and consumers and young children and so on. We'll talk more about that. But let's talk about the fleet owners and the commercial part of what we do. Our bread and butter has always been working with small fleets. We work with plumbing companies, air conditioning companies, contractors, pool services, you name it, lots of different categories as you can see here. And we've been doing this for a long time. We've been doing it very, very well. And basically, what we try and do with our fleet customers is help them to reduce miles driven on their vehicles, help them to reduce fuel expense, increase the number of stops, jobs, or deliveries they can do. And the premise is, what if you could ride along with every one of your drivers all day, every day? What kind of an impact would that make on your business? It makes a huge impact. It always has. And there's just an unlimited opportunity available for you there. So we've been very, very successful in this space. We have customers all over the country. Very, very happy customers. We don't require any kind of a contract, yet they stay with us for an average of 8 years, which is just amazing in the industry. And this is something that will be very valuable to you as well as you learn more about what's available in our program. But the most important thing I want to point out about the fleet space is that if you go out and call on 100 air conditioning companies, 100 plumbing companies, or 100 towing companies, you're going to find that 86 out of 100 still don't have a system like ours. Even though they know that it exists, they know that they should have it, they don't have it yet, which means that only 14 out of 100 have it. And that's after, in my case, being in this space for 15 years. One thing that we know is that what these fleet owners are waiting for is for a professional individual to walk into their company, take them by the hand, and walk them through the process. It's a big, big part of your opportunity. But in addition to the fleet space, we also work with consumers. We have our family and fun category. We work with outdoor enthusiasts, young kids, seniors, people that have all of those in their household, of course. It can be quads and ATVs and motorcycles or airplanes or outdoor enthusiasts who are hiking or biking or jogging. You get the idea. There's unlimited opportunity here. But one of the most important parts of that family and fun category is the teen drivers. Teen drivers are a very at-risk segment out there. And you're seeing a slide here now about Elisa's Angels. Elisa was my niece. She was an amazing person, and she died 12 years ago in a car crash. She was in a car with 4 other people that are 15 and 16 years old. It was incredibly tragic. We've never forgotten it. We've never recovered from it. And her father, my brother-in-law, has put together this amazing foundation called Elisa's Angels that helps to provide scholarships to people who are like Elisa. And when I mean like Elisa, I mean a giving, thoughtful person who really cared about other people and did all kinds of amazing things to help other people. So Elisa's Angels rewards kids that are trying to go to college with scholarships and looks particularly for kids that are like Elisa. We contribute a percentage of our sales every month to Elisa's Angels, and we'll continue to do that. It's already over $1,000 a month that we're contributing, and it will just skyrocket from here based on the overall success of our organization. And nothing will replace Elisa, but we can at least do our best. And what else can we do? What's more important, most important, is that we do anything we can to stop this kind of tragedy from happening to anybody else. And we will make a huge impact, and we will save lots of lives with this program. One is enough, but I think that we will have just a huge impact on the teen driver segment. So a little history about GPS Heroes. I actually got started in this space in 2001 after selling a direct mail advertising company, and that was very successful, and just kind of stumbled into this industry from some connections that I had that were, were looking for somebody with my skills and abilities. And I fell in love with the technology immediately. And for the next 6 years, I worked in the Fortune 500 space, working for two very large companies that were pioneers in the GPS tracking space. And then my book, Ready, Set, Sell, came out in 2006. It became a #1 bestseller immediately. It was endorsed by both Jeffrey Gitomer and Brian Tracy on the cover of the book. That was a huge win for me. But for whatever reason, the folks at my company, they didn't like the fact that I had a book and had all this notoriety. It had no impact on our performance, but they just didn't like it. Long story short, I got fired almost immediately after my book came out. So I went from being a very successful executive and now a best-selling sales author to unemployed overnight. My kids were 10 and 12. That was a scary time for us. My wife was certainly scared about the situation. And so we were trying to figure out, what was going to be our next step. I decided to stay in this business. It was such an amazing business, the GPS tracking space. And while I was also doing speaking engagements and so on, I wanted to put this amazing selling system that I'd created behind this incredible GPS tracking product. And so that's kind of what we started to do. And then 2008 hit, and the world just absolutely unraveled and fell apart. I don't probably have to tell you what happened there. You've got your own story, as so many other people do. What we ended up doing is just saying, oh my gosh, let's do something different. And we wanted to move somewhere to have an adventure. We decided to make an adventure out of it. And we actually picked up and moved to Hawaii. Now, I had never been to Hawaii. My wife had never been to Hawaii, but I'm a private pilot, and I wanted to go somewhere where the flying would be amazing. I'd always wanted to live near the ocean. And my wife, after living in Arizona for so many years, was getting kind of tired of the dry climate. She wanted somewhere where there's a little bit of humidity. And we just decided that why not? Let's go to Hawaii. And I also figured, okay, this would be a great opportunity for me to take the selling system that I've created and this amazing GPS technology and prove what one person could do if they went out to just dominate a market. And that's exactly what we did. Over the next couple of years, I started a company. We started a company called Hawaiian GPS at the time, which later became GPS Heroes. And I just went out and worked from the very beginning, doing exactly what anybody would do from starting out. I called on one customer, then another, prospects I'm talking about. And I ended up getting a first customer, and then I got another customer and another and another. And eventually, after over a couple of years, I sold 200 different fleet customers, over 2,000 units, and built a nice little enterprise in Hawaii. And my goal had always been to turn around and build a program like we're launching today with a network marketing direct sales model where I could share with people like you what I did in Hawaii so you could go out and create recurring income as well and take advantage of the amazing opportunity that there is to go out and represent GPS tracking to families and fleets in your area and help others to do the same thing. So we absolutely killed it in Hawaii. But what happened as a result of that was we got the attention of Verizon Wireless, and in 2011 we ended up partnering with Verizon Wireless, which was amazing, and gave us tremendous credibility and a huge boost. And for the next couple of years, we just sold the heck out of our system in all 50 states in partnering with Verizon Wireless. They're still a partner today, and a wonderful partner, and that was just a tremendous opportunity. We ended up going to the mainland. I actually ended up moving my personal residence back to the mainland in 2012, and we still have our offices in Hawaii. I spend a lot of time there, and it's just been an amazing adventure. So our office, our distribution facility, all of our support team, our entire staff is, for the most part, based in Hawaii with a few people in California and Arizona, and it's just been tremendously successful. So now it brings us back up to the current, where the next phase in our evolution is to do what was already planned, always planned, which is to share the opportunity with you. I'm constantly being approached by people who say, I would love to be involved in your business, Don. I understand what you've done. I see the recurring revenue. It's a tremendous product. You're helping people. You're helping businesses. How can I get involved? And that's why we decided to go forward at this point and launch this program. So excited to do it. In addition, also in 2016, the success of our company inspired a reality TV show called GPS Heroes, which is currently in development. We worked with a very established production company called Bishop Lyons Entertainment that's done very, very well with a lot of different reality TV shows. And we filmed a short pilot called a sizzle reel, and there's a trailer of the show on our website at GPS Heroes. And by the way, let me just back up and tell you that everything I've been showing you, there's probably a video for. We have a video for the teen driver program on our site at gpsheroes.com. We have a video for how we approach fleets on the site. These are all 2- and 3-minute videos. And we have a trailer here for the reality TV show. It's a lot of fun. We went to Hawaii and spent 5 days filming. You won't see all of the results of all of that on the trailer. The trailer is just 2 or 3 minutes long, but you get a general feel for what's going on in the show. It was a lot of fun to do. Our customers actually contributed their time and their staff's time to help us recreate some real stories that occurred, and we've got a whole bunch of them saved up that we're working with the producers on, and they are now in the process of trying to sell the show to one of the networks to see if we can actually get it on the air, which would be just a tremendous boon for all of us. So just a tremendous amount of excitement going on right now. A little bit about our program and how it works, the actual application. When somebody has devices on our platform, whether it be for their family members or for their fleet or any combination, they're going to see all kinds of features and functionality. We just continually upgrade our solution. Every couple of months there's new features and tweaks and changes that we make to it. But geofences are where you can actually go in the system and draw any size or shape on the map. And anytime one of your devices goes into or out of that geofence, you can have an alert sent to your phone, whether you're the fleet manager or a parent, as examples, and or an email alert or whatever, but just tremendously valuable for fuel monitoring. We have our idling feature, so for fleets, if the vehicles are parked with the engine running for too long, they can get alerts for that. Maintenance alerts allow us to keep track of when it's time for an oil change or a tire rotation or valve adjustments or registration renewals, anything like that. And we have a whole suite of reports: stop reports, speeding reports, after hours reports, maintenance reports, breadcrumb trail reports. We have an amazing speeding feature where we actually integrated with a third-party company. They own the actual speed limit data on every stretch of road everywhere in North America. So if a road goes along and the speed limit on that road goes from 45, then a little farther down it goes to 35, then it becomes 55. We actually know all of that, and so we can create speeding alerts. If your teen driver is going 2 miles over the speed limit in a 45-mile-an-hour zone, you're going to get a speeding alert saying that your teen driver went over the limit. It's just amazing, and there's a lot of other features and functionality, but it's just tremendous. As you get to know it, you'll just get so excited. The system works both on your mobile device and a laptop or desktop. It just looks a little bit different, but when you go to our system as a customer or as a distributor to see your devices and what they're doing from your mobile phone, your smartphone, or tablet PC, you'll see a little bit different experience than you see on your laptop. Both are super easy, and this works really well for people out in the field like the tow truck company and the pest control company, because they are usually out in the field driving one of the trucks in addition to managing the trucks, and they can see what's going on and manage all that from the field and from the office. Just cool stuff. Anyway, here's what it looks like when you're on the computer, a little bit more detail. You can see a list of your vehicles on the left side, where they're all at on the screen on the right side. And then you can also go in and get more detail and actually hone in on one vehicle and see the whole breadcrumb trail for how it got from one place to the next. And then here's the same data on the mobile browser. As you can see, it's just presented in an easier to read way, but it's the same data. And we have different devices for all kinds of different applications. We have the personal tracker, which is a battery-powered device that lasts for 2, 3, 4 days on a charge, can send an alert when the battery gets low and needs to be recharged. That's a great one for putting in a kid's backpack, or we have a little shoe wallet where you can put it in the wallet, and then the wallet goes in the shoelaces of the shoe, and it's just, you can completely forget about it, and kids can go out and run around and do their thing, and mom and dad can always know where they're at. or it can go in the backpack. It's great for when kids are going on field trips for school or something like that, going off with friends, and you want to just have that extra peace of mind. So many different ways that that device can be used. And then and that's also great for the elderly parents. It's the same purpose. If people are starting to worry about their mom and dad, should mom and dad be driving anymore, or just wanting to keep track of them if they're starting to wander, or you're just worried about that kind of thing. So much value and peace of mind from that. Then we have our plug and play tracker. That's perfect for parents of teenage drivers to put in the vehicle, so that it keeps track of ignition on, ignition off, everywhere the vehicle is. And that's also in very common use for our fleet customers. It's an easy install, doesn't require any wiring. It can be installed in just a minute or two by anybody. A mom can do it, a fleet owner can do it. And it's a great way to reduce costs in the fleet without having to worry about installation. And if the plug and play device is not desirable or compatible with a type of vehicle, then we have the Pro Tracker, which is a simple 3-wire install. It's a ground and always hot connection and an ignition only hot connection. Super easy. And if somebody's not comfortable installing it themselves, or they don't have an in-house mechanic, it's real easy just to take that to a local audio shop or a Best Buy, and usually for about $50 they'll install it in about 20 minutes. So we have several other devices as well, and we have our phone tracking app where we can actually track a smartphone, whether it be a Droid or an iPhone or a BlackBerry, and add that to the portfolio as well. That's really good for young teens that are not quite driving yet, but they're just old enough to have a smartphone. We can help keep track of them by watching the phone. And we can get into more detail on all of that, but basically wanted to make sure that you understood that we have a tremendous amount of functionality in the application and lots of devices and combinations of devices that work for any scenario. So, we're a very, very successful company. We've been doing this for a long time, and people have been asking me recently, with all that success, why are you launching a distributor program? Well, I can answer that easily. For one, on the fleet side, as I mentioned before, 86% of the small fleets do not have a system in their vehicles yet. And the reason they don't have them is, number one, usually there's 3 reasons that they come up with. Number one is they don't want to pay a lot of money up front. They're under the impression, because of history, that it's expensive to buy the devices, which it's not anymore. Number 2, they don't want to sign a contract. And we don't require a contract, but they don't know that. The standard in the industry is that it requires a 2 to 3 year contract with most of our competitors. And the third reason that most fleets haven't bought a system yet is because they're still not convinced that it's going to save them more per month what we charge them for the monthly fee. We know it's going to. You'll know that it's going to very, very quickly, but they don't know that. And what I found over the years is that the most effective way to earn that business from the small fleet owner is to show up, walk through the door, shake their hand, and say, hey, Joe, why don't you have GPS in your fleet yet? And they're going to tell you those 3 reasons. But the real big reason is you haven't shown up yet. They really want to buy from someone local who will hold their hand and walk them through the process. And then once you do get them on the program, come back and say, here, let me walk you through it. Let me show you how to label your vehicles. Let me show you how to set up a geofence. Let me show you how to set up an automated report that comes every day. That's what they're really looking for. That's how I built my business in Hawaii. And trust me when I tell you, I've tried everything to find the best way to do it. And what I'm sharing with you is the best way to do it. On the family side, my perspective on that is, look, if we don't do it, nobody's going to do it. There have been products like this available for a few years now, but there's just not enough parents that are using it to keep track and keep their kids safe. There's not enough parents that are using it to keep their teen drivers safe. People don't know that something like this is available, that they can manage the data on for their elderly parents and then for themselves. So I strongly feel that if we don't have an army of people talking to people out there in the community, that this will never happen, and it needs to happen. So another reason why we decided to do it this way. A third reason is that our program really does require a hands-on approach to demonstrate the program, implement the program, and train new customers on the program. And that's just not going to happen without a lot of people in the field doing it. And so basically the bottom line is we can't grow our business to our goal of 1 million, protecting 1 million of what matters most without you. It will not happen without you. The other thing is that as successful as we are and proud of it, there's just too much need for the product and for a legitimate business opportunity of this sort that shares recurring revenue. Too many people need an opportunity. Too many people need the product. That's why we're doing it. We're doing it for everybody's sake, and I could not be more excited about where we're at and what we're doing with this program. So how do you make money? This question comes up, obviously. It's the first question I'd be asking once I got excited about the program. And basically, there's two phases to the compensation program. I'm going to go through them both very quickly, but I'm not going to go through all the detail. I will direct you on where you can go and read the comp plan and actually get the detail. And then you can always contact us or your sponsor with specific questions about the compensation plan. But in phase one, you earn from 15 to 35% of everything that you sell. The more you sell, the higher the commission gets. Remember, this is a recurring revenue product. So people pay on the average $100 for the device, $99.95, and $29.95 per month per unit to monitor their unit. And so basically you start out as a consultant, and as soon as you get to $20 a month in sales, you start earning a 15% commission. That's going to be instant. Then once your business is doing about $600 a month in volume, you start earning 20%. Once you get your business up to the point where there's $1,500 a month in volume, you'll earn 25%. When your business is doing $5,000 a month in volume, you'll start earning 30%. And finally, when you get to $10,000 a month in volume, your commission will be 35% of that $10,000. That's $3,500 a month. This is assuming that you're going out and creating all these sales on your own. And one thing I'd like to point out is that at $10,000, at our current average of about $30 per unit per customer, it's about 333 units. Remember, I personally sold 2,000 plus units in Hawaii, without knowing anybody there. And in addition to that, I was running the entire company. So if I can sell 2,000 units after alongside running an entire company, you can sell 333 units over time on your own. And yet you don't have to do it alone. I'm just showing you the first phase of the compensation program and what would happen if you decided to do it alone. I will teach you how to go out and get that done in 3 to 6 months. I can tell you for sure how to set the foundation for getting that done in 90 days, which is exactly what my book, Ready, Set, Sell, How to Get from Zero to Sales Hero in 90 Days, is all about. We'll talk more about that in a minute. Okay, now the other thing is, though, that in addition to the commission that you can earn on your own, you can also earn overrides by helping other people join the organization. So let's say you're in Seattle and you get excited about this program and you sign up and you start making some money in the program, and you have a friend who's in Tallahassee, Florida, who finds out what you're doing and wants to do it in Florida. You can actually refer that person into the program. You can get them trained and mentored, and you will then earn an override of everything that they do as a result of mentoring them. You can bring on as many people as you want. They can bring on as many people as they want, and we can all build a large organization that includes rewards for doing your own personal sales, for bringing other people on who do sales, and all of the customers that are affected and brought on as a result of all that activity. So again, I will go into more detail, or you can learn more detail about the compensation plan in the enrollment process. When you go to enroll, you will be asked to review 4 documents. One of them is a compensation plan, and I would suggest that you open it and read it, and that'll give you a much better idea of what the compensation is all about. And of course, I would encourage you to just go ahead and get enrolled and then study the compensation plan, because as you can see, it's extremely lucrative, but whatever works for you. So we'll spend more time on that. So there are 3 ways to build your GPS Heroes business. First off, you can just promote the products. Like I said, if you can get to the point where you sell 333 total subscriptions, and that could be 10 per customer on fleets or just individuals, you'll be a director, and at a director level you'd be making at least $3,500 a month if you did all those sales by yourself, and there is no limit. You can make as much as you want. The other way is to build a $400 a month business and duplicate it. So the best way to build a $400 a month business is to get on our family plan. I'll explain the family plan in more detail in a moment, but basically it's $60 a month. And we encourage all of our distributors to get on the family plan themselves. It gives you the ability to learn our system by having a couple of devices and a couple of smartphone licenses. It's your demo account, and it's $59.95 a month. So if you can, it is our flagship product on the consumer side. So if you can help 6 families out there to get on the family plan and take care of themselves and keep their own families secure, that would be about $360 a month. And if you add your own family plan to that, that would be about $420 a month, and you've built your $400 business. If you can help a few other people to build a $400 a month business, and they help a few other people to build a $400 a month business, let's say you help 5 people and they each help 5 people, then you're way above it, and that's another way to get to $10,000 a month where you would be a director. And then the third way of building your GPS Heroes business is the one that I suggest, which is a hybrid, and that is to go out and work and talk to everybody that you come in contact with. Moms, dads, elderly, everybody that you come in contact with, in addition to fleets if you're comfortable doing it, and get to the $400 point, but then just keep going. And as you're talking to people, they're going to stop you and they're going to ask you to join your business, because everybody's out there looking for an opportunity. I'm not saying everyone will join you, but you'll find if you're talking to a lot of people, many of them are going to be curious about what you're doing. They're going to be intrigued. They're going to want to join you. So the hybrid method is to go out and just continue selling the product to end user customers, and in the process, bring on distributors as they ask you about it. We always lead with the product, never the business opportunity. And if we're just talking to people about the product, some of them are going to stop you and say, hey, how did you get involved in that? I would really be interested in doing that myself. Or they might say, hey, how did you get involved in that? I have a brother in New York who's looking for an opportunity. I think this is exactly what he's looking for. And then again, you've got a great opportunity to build your business and your distribution, and you didn't even bring up the idea of the business opportunity. You just found somebody who understood that it was a great opportunity and they asked you about it. So that's the hybrid model. Go out and promote the product, and work with people that want to join you to also promote the product, continue to sell the product to end user customers, and there's absolutely no limit to the compensation plan built that way. So once you do enroll and become a distributor, you're going to have a co-branded website with us. And on your co-branded website, in the upper right-hand corner is going to be your contact information, your photo, or your logo. What you're looking at here is mine. Your information would be there. So my website is gpsheroes.com/1. Your website is going to be gpsheroes.com/your distributor number, whatever that is, which is assigned automatically when you enroll. You would then give anybody that you're working with your website address, and when they come in through your website and buy the product or enroll as a distributor, they're automatically attached to you, and twice a month we'll send you commission for anything that they do. It's just very simple and very exciting. And if you've been to our website and seen all the amazing videos and data and testimonials, your website is going to look exactly like that, except for your contact information will be in the upper right hand corner. It's your website. Also, we've created beautiful sales materials for you. Most important being the trifold brochure, which are great for handouts when somebody stops you because you're wearing a GPS Heroes shirt, which you can also acquire here, and asks you what's GPS Heroes. You've got a brochure. If you're out calling on fleets, you've got a brochure. You've got beautiful full color business cards. They're extremely inexpensive to order from our third-party printer that we've partnered with, but look at the quality of materials that you have available to represent your business. And basically how you get started, simple. Just enroll and get your family plan. To become a distributor, you have to get your virtual business center. It's $14.95 a month. That includes your replicated website, all the administrative fees. We send you a GPS Heroes Visa debit card. We pay to your Visa debit card twice a month, on the 5th and the 20th for your commissions. That's all covered in the $14.95, all of the reporting and so on. Plus, you need to get your family plan. That's $99.95 and $59.95 a month. Your family plan is going to include one personal tracker, the battery-powered one plug-and-play tracker that you can put into your car, 2 smartphone licenses, which means you can track any 2 smartphones, and a 3rd smartphone license that comes with the virtual business center. So there's your demo fleet. You're going to be able to learn how all the different devices work, because they do report a little bit differently. You're going to become a master at them. In your first few weeks, you start using all the devices and learning the application. And so you're going to be able to lend them out to people, lend them out to fleet owners, lend them out to families, lend them out to whoever it makes sense to, and just really master the system, understand it, and be able to properly share it with people. So your total cost to become a distributor then is $175 to get started, and then $75 a month. So the $175 to get started is $99 for the family plan. That's a discounted plan. Normally would be $200. So you're paying $99 plus your first month of the family plan, plus your first month of the business center, $175 up front, then $75 a month. The $75 a month is $59.95 for your family plan and $15 a month, $14.95 for your virtual business center. And your family plan is commissionable to you. So even from the very beginning, you'll be earning 15% of your upfront cost and family plan, just not the virtual business center, which is not commissionable. Okay, if you have questions on that, easy enough to answer them. If you enroll with your family plan by March 31st, 2016, you're going to be considered a founding member of GPS Heroes. And that's going to go a long way for your credibility as the years progress. But you'll have founding member status. We will also issue you a gpsheroes.com email address. So it can be, like mine is Don Mastrangelo at gpsheroes.com. Yours would be your first name dot last name at gpsheroes.com. That will only be available as a bonus for distributors who sign up before March 31st and get the family plan. You have to enroll with the family plan in order to get that. You're also going to get a founder's pin, and that will be assigned, given to you or presented to you at our first annual convention, which will be sometime in the next 12 months. But that'll be tremendous recognition for you to be able to come up on stage and get your founder's pin, which you can only do if you get started with us by March 31st. And in addition to that, free with every enrollment, and this is for the family plan enrollment, you're going to get 2 books. My book, the #1 bestseller, Ready, Set, Sell, How to Get From Zero to Sales Hero, which literally is a textbook for how to go out and sell GPS, whether it be to families or to fleets or any combination. And this is both of these books are 100-ish pages. They're a couple of hours to read each. They're the perfect platform to get started in this new entrepreneurial venture. This other book, Beach Money, written by Jordan Adler, very close personal friend of mine, incredibly successful network marketer, will help you to really understand the network marketing compensation model and how to build a network marketing successful network marketing business. So between these 2 books, you can't go wrong. You can't read these 2 books and not get excited. You can't read these 2 books and not feel like you're completely prepared to get started on your journey. But remember, in order to get the founder status and these 2 books at no additional cost, you must enroll with the family plan option by March 31st. Okay, so how do you enroll? Go back to the website, gpsheroes.com/the distributor number of the person who told you about this program, and go under the Opportunity tab. You'll see Opportunity, and then after you get to the Opportunity tab, click on Enroll Now, and simply go in to the family plan option and fill out the form and put in your $175 to get started, and then you'll be charged $75 a month after that on your 30-day anniversary of enrolling today, and then you'll also start earning commissions even on your initial purchase literally the following month. So that's how you enroll, and that's basically it. So I really hope that this short presentation has been valuable to you. I hope that it's answered some of your questions, but mostly I've hoped that it's inspired you to go in and enroll. That really is your next step. As soon as you enroll, you'll be receiving some emails that explain exactly what you need to do next and in what order. But if you have any additional questions that you need to have answered, get back to the person who invited you to watch this webinar and ask those questions. You'll get the answers that you need. And we really hope that you join us and become one of the next GPS heroes. This is Don Mastrangelo. I'm the founder of GPS Heroes, and thank you again for being with us today.